Well, there's been a lot of unexpected information, certainly, in these 3 visits. I played here many times. I thought I knew things about the legacy, particularly maybe the jazz legacy and Philly soul. But I don't think I did know all that much when all is said and done. I'm learning not only the depth of, in the sheer numbers of amazing artists that have come out of Philadelphia and are associated with Philadelphia in one way or another, either by birth or by reputation. But there's been an incredible history of philanthropy here that I was not aware of that affected many of the artists, such as John Coltrane, and we could assume also by extension all kinds of other people like McCoy Tyner and God, I mean, don't even know how many may be touched by the philanthropic efforts of industrialists, very wealthy individuals who were part of the, I guess you'd say, the zenith of Philadelphia's history as a sort of center of the American universe in its day, prior to the whatever New Yorkification of everything. And I think that that was by itself the most inspiring thing to learn. What to do with extra repertoire where this inspiration is concerned, I'm not really sure that that specifically had anything to do with it, but I made a list after the first visit here investigating many different Philadelphia artists, and the thing is that it has to fit into this concept of lovers, which for me is extremely personal, rather obsessive. It's supposed to be shades, levels, and degrees of musical material that relates to romance, love, intimacy, sexuality, in all its sort of dark and light shades. So the Philadelphian work has to also fit into that idea. Otherwise, I'm just sort of creating a different type of work that Michael Leonard and I will sit down and create arrangements for and perform. So I'm still taking into account how this material may fit into my concept, but overall, the fact that we got this opportunity to even add repertoire and for me to come and learn about Philadelphian culture and history has kind of changed my view of a lot of things, not just of Philadelphia. It's definitely made me think about the history of the United States of America in a different way. I think how it's going to coalesce is going to be songs that I researched based on the artist and the song itself, its title, its lyrics, if it has lyrics, and how it fits into my lover's thing. That, I think, that list is going to be solid. And the only thing that's surprising about it is that I think now Michael Leonard and I are going to do almost every song on the list, whereas I thought it was going to be probably half as many pieces. But we're figuring out ways to do some suites. I got this idea to, the whole thing with Philly Soul became problematic for me because the songs in many ways harmonically and lyrically, they just don't work with my concept in spite of the fact they're supposed to be, and almost are to the song, romantic or sexy songs. But I went back further and to stuff that I knew even better, and it looks like the Delphonics and Brenda and the Tabulations will make an appearance as part of a suite. And the rest of it is mostly jazz-related composers, Benny Golson. I want to do Miss Otis Regrets, which is lyrically amazing, but sung most famously by Ethel Waters, who's associated with Philadelphia. And let's see, Paul Motian was already a given. I knew before I ever came to visit on these little missions of mine that I was going to do folk song for Rosie because I'm a Paul Motian fanatic. And I think that the subtle drifting kind of rubato beauty of this piece will be ideal for my lover's idea. Similarly, Aisha by McCoy Tyner, I knew right away I wanted to do. And in that way, I also get to refer to John Coltrane, who obviously wasn't from Philadelphia, but his formative musical years and early reputation were formed here. So I think that my mind hasn't been changed by the visits and from my initial list and my initial ideas, but my resolve to do it and to do more has grown.